Hello. Okay, next tutorial. This time I'm dressed up as one of my own creations inspired by the prosthetics that I'm wearing. It's kind of a skeletal vampire bat, isn't it? I'll let you guys decide what to call it. This particular makeup is definitely one of my more involved looks, especially with the large facial prosthetic, the fake ears and the bald cap, but it was so much fun to do. So if you'd like to learn how to recreate this vampire bat madness, stay tuned. So I'm going to start off by talking about the foam latex prosthetics that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using two prosthetics today. I'm going to be using a full face prosthetic and two ears. Both of these prosthetics I got from mostlydead.com, which I'll pop a link on the screen here to that website, and I'll pop a link in the description bar below as well if you wanted to check them out. There's also a cheeky discount down there as well if you wanted to get 20% off your first order. It's actually part of my affordable FX series where I use foam latex pieces that cost between around about $20 to $50. And the first piece that I'm going to be using is this amazing kind of skull, kind of vampire-esque piece. It's really cool and really creepy looking. I love it. Something that's really interesting is the teeth are actually built into this piece and they're not made of foam. They're made of some kind of acrylic. It's amazing. So it saves me having to stick them on later, so that's pretty damn awesome. This piece is called the Fierce Vampire Skull, I believe. And I'm going to be pairing that up with, as always, a latex ball cap, because you guys know whenever I do something like this big, I like to make the creature bald just to get rid of any hint of myself in there. It's just nice to change the whole character. And the second piece I'm going to be using is these fabulous foam latex prosthetic ears. And I've never actually used foam latex ears before, which is really strange considering how many makeup looks I've actually done in the past. I've used regular latex ears, like elf ears, but they've not been foam and they've not been like particularly easy to blend. So I thought I would try something new. And these are, again, from mostlydead.com, and they are the troll ears. I just thought they would go really well with this piece. So it'd be kind of like a vampire bat. So you see what I mean? I just thought they look really cool together. So I thought it'd be a nice pairing. Hopefully it'll be a really interesting makeup because I've done vampires before, I've done a vampire bat makeup before, I've done skeleton makeups before, but this kind of mixes all three together and I think it'll be really fun to try out. So I'm going to start off by popping on my plain latex ball cap. I won't show you guys how to do it in this video just to make things go a little bit quicker, but I will pop a link on the screen there and in the description bar below that will take you to a tutorial that I did in the past to teach you guys how to do that. So I'm just going to go pop my latex ball cap on and we'll go from there. Okie dokie, Smoky Bear. Once I finished applying my ball cap, I went around my ears, because obviously I need my ears for this makeup so that I can apply the fake ears. And I went around the edge of my ball cap with about 3 layers of liquid latex and a sponge, just to really try and hide that edge. So now I can start applying the foam latex prosthetics. So I'm going to start with the ears first, because I think they might be a bit more fiddly than the face piece. And the way to apply them is going to be the same as applying any foam latex piece. I'm going to apply an adhesive to the underside of the prosthetic. I'm going to be using Pro Stick, which is my usual go-to adhesive whenever I apply prosthetics. So I'm going to take a cotton bud and apply a small layer of that to the inside of the piece, and then I'm going to apply that to the outside of my ear and then slowly start pushing it down. So once that's all stuck down, I'm going to take some more Pro Stick and another cotton bud, and I'm going to start applying that to all of the edges around both of the ears, just applying that in a rolling motion going away from the edges, just so I can really seal them off and blend them into the ball cap. So then I can move on to the main prosthetic. So I'm going to apply that in exactly the same way that I did my ears, except this time I'm going to start on the middle and then work outwards just to make sure everything's well aligned. So I'm going to apply a small amount of the adhesive to the inside of the middle of the prosthetic, and I'm going to apply it to my nose as well. So once that's all stuck down, I can start applying the adhesive as I go along, just so I can work away from my face so that everything aligns up nice and neatly. Then, when everything is all nice and stuck down, we can start blending the edges of the prosthetic the same way that we did with the ears. So I'm going to take a cotton bud and some Pro Stick and apply that to the edges, rolling away. Then, once that's all dry, I can start colouring this all in. So for the base, I'm going to be using alcohol activated colours, just because they're really nice to layer up. And the palette that I'm going to be using is a Life Colour palette by Gorton. This is the Enhanced palette. It's just got some really nice tones in there. So the colour palette that I'm going to be going for is relatively similar to my own skin tone, but I'm going to make it look a bit more rustic. So just to make everything a blank canvas and just to even everything out, I'm going to be using the Radiant Red from this palette, and I'm going to apply that all over my face, my neck, my ball cap and my prosthetic ears. I'm not going to be applying that in a block colour, I'm going to be using a relatively large but firm fluffy brush to apply it really sporadically in random areas. So there we are, so now that I'm all sunburnt looking, kind of ironic, then I can take the next colour, which is Sandstone, which is this colour right here, and I can apply that in exactly the same way, applying it really randomly over the red. Then I'm going to take a dark purple from this palette, which is called Burnt Berry, and I'm going to apply it quite lightly to the middle of my ear and the tips of the ears as well. I'm also going to apply it in the hollow areas of the temples and the forehead. I'm going to do a lot of shading with some creams afterwards, but this is just going to lay down a lot of the groundwork. So I'm going to stop layering for now because in a minute I'm going to be applying some black cream, so this is just really a base coat, so I'm going to make it look a lot more dirty and old later on. So next I can take a MAC Black Chroma Cake, which is just a really nice black watercolour, and I'm going to apply that on the inside of this area here, so these eye sockets, and the mouth area here that separates the pretend jawbone. Then, taking a Makeup Forever Flash palette and taking the black cream from that palette, I'm going to start really aging up this makeup. So I'm going to take a firm but fluffy brush and start applying that black on the edge of these eye sockets, blending the colour outwards. I'm also going to do that to the edge of this jaw piece. Then I'm going to take the same black cream and go around each of these furrows, anywhere where there's a harsh ridge, so I can darken them up and then blend the colour away from the ridge just to make it look a lot more hollow. So that includes these nasolabial folds, it includes the brow bone, and it also includes the temples. Then with the black cream again, I'm going to colour in my new nostrils. It feels weird to point out my nostrils are here when my actual nostrils are somewhere here. It's odd. So by now you can see what I'm doing with the foundation. So in each segment that I'm working in, I'm blending the black out further and further so it kind of marries up with the foundation colour that I've got. So you can see here, this area, my ears and my ball cap still needs to be blended in, but I can do that later on. This way I can work methodically and see what I've got left to do. So as I said, I'm going to work on the mouth area now, so I'm going to take a really sharp angle brush, and I'm going to take the red cream from this palette, and I'm going to go down all the scores between each tooth, on both the bottom and top set of teeth. So my method is to apply the colour nearest the tooth first, then score it away, so on the top it would be upwards, just so the colour blends off. Then I'm going to take some more of that black cream and go around each of the teeth, just to make them look a little bit more grimy. So then I can go back to my ears. So I'm going to take the black cream again, apply it in this area here and the tip of my ear, and then blend the two colours together. Then I can take my trusty black hairspray, and you're going to want to do this in a well-ventilated area, so I'm going to go outside to do this for myself. And to darken up the head so that it matches the rest of the face, I'm going to go outside and spray at arm's distance, really lightly, not even pressing down the nozzle that much, and I'm just going to spray once or twice in a halo fashion just around the top of my forehead. The next step is going to be one of my favourite steps, and that is applying the fake blood. So lately my favourite fake blood is by Superstar, and this is their dark blood formula. Now I'm not going to use too much for this, I'm only going to use a tiny bit going around the mouth and maybe a few little dribbles in between the teeth. I say that, but I tend to get carried away, so we'll see what happens. Then finally, I'm going to pop in some contact lenses, pop on a costume, and I'll see what we've got. And there we go, that's my look, officially complete. So I finished the look off by popping in 2 Sclera contact lenses that I got from scleraxl.com. I'll pop that link in the description bar below as always. The costume that I popped on is actually my Ghost Pirate costume that I got from buycostumes.com. I'll pop that link in the description bar below as well. The only difference is I chopped up some fabric to drape around it just to make it look a bit more weathered and less piratey. I of course popped on these amazing skeleton gloves that I got from buycostumes.com as well. I use them whenever I do a skeletal makeup, I just love them. And yeah, that's my tutorial. It's definitely one of my more involved looks, especially with the ball cap, the huge face prosthetic, and these amazing ears. But it was super fun to do. So thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, please make sure to, you know the usual. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And yeah, so until next time, bye guys!